Joel, what's the key to keeping this going if Boston's forced to miss another game?
Yeah, not really sure his situation right now, but that's why you have to have some depth to your team. You never know who's going to be out, and we have guys ready to jump in, and worked well for us last game. We just got to continue with what we did last game.
What did you do well last game?
Honestly, kept it pretty simple. Just got pucks deep and worked their D down low. Got more traffic in front of the goalie and just shot more pucks. Wasn't anything flashy. It was just hard work.
Have you guys changed any of the routines to try and get that type of performance at home?
No, haven't really changed much at all. We obviously know we can do it at home, so we just got to show it tonight.
How much do you lean into planting the seed of doubt, realizing that this Bruins team blew a 3-1 lead last year?
Yeah, obviously, right when we got down 3-1, that was a topic we brought up. It just gave us some momentum and some positivity that we needed. Anything can happen. We knew it was going to be a long series anyways, so it doesn't really matter if we're down 3-1 or not. We're just going to keep chipping away.
You were on a team that was down 3-1, we all remember. How did you guys come back?
It honestly just starts with one game, and you just build off that one game and keep it rolling. It's kind of exciting. You got nothing to lose, so you just want to put everything you got out there. There's no tomorrow if you lose, so just put everything on the line, one night at a time.
Did you sense any tension, pressure on the other side in Game 5 at all?
No, thought they played a good game, and we expect their best game tonight.
What did you guys do better against Marchand in Game 5? It felt like, I don't know, you kept him off the scoreboard, he was in the penalty box. What did you like about how you handled him last game?
Yeah, I mean, he still had his chances. He's a heck of a player, so he's going to get those chances. We just got to limit them, take away his time. He almost had a good chance there in overtime, so just play him hard. That's all you can really do.
What's it like for you to see a rookie like Matthew Knies stand up to Pasternak the way he did in the second period there?
Yeah, it's great. He might be a rookie, but he's a big kid. He plays heavy. He's obviously talented, but he's got that edge to him, which I noticed in playoffs here. So it's good to see, and obviously we rally behind stuff like that.
What's it like battling your old pal Maroon? Like, what's that kind of game within the game been like in this series for you?
It's been good. Just obviously two big guys. We go way back, so still really close with him. But obviously we put everything aside for this series, and it's fun to battle against him. But he definitely knows how to play the playoff game. Very simple and heavy. So he's doing his job. We just gotta be hard on him.
You saw a rookie goaltender do a lot of great things in St. Louis, or a young goaltender back in the day. What stands out to you about Wool?
Just how calm he is. I feel like nothing really bothers him at all. And talk about St. Louis, that was kind of the same way as Binner. So it's cool to see. Heck of a game last game. So looking forward to it tonight. Thanks, guys.
What was your perspective on the interaction with Pasternak in the second period there?
Yeah, I mean, he's going after our best defenseman, and just don't like to see that. I don't want him. I don't want Mo to get into interactions like that. I need him to focus on the game and and helping us win. So that's all about it.
How much confidence does it give you when it didn't look like Pasternak wanted to engage you?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not his game. Obviously, he's a very skilled player, and lots of respect to him. But yeah, that's not his game, so I don't really want him going after guys on our team.
Let's set it to how the team's handled missing big pieces, really, for the start of the season, Austin, last game.
Yeah, I mean, I think every guy stepped up and played a different role and maximize their opportunity. So I think that we have a lot of guys in this room that can step up and play when their name's called upon.
How close? Like, it's tough for William to jump into the series in the middle. Like, how close do you feel like he is to the top of his game right now?
I think he's definitely there. He's moving his feet. He's skating. He's getting pucks on net. I think my goal is just to support him as much as possible and find ways to get open for him. So.
What about the playoffs makes just momentum so hard to capture? Like, what is it that's so different in the playoffs? How would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty difficult. Obviously, playing that kind of atmosphere at TD Garden, it's pretty loud, and I think the shifts after goals are very important. I think to handle, and I think that we need to do a better job of that. I think that's kind of where your momentum switches is special teams and the shifts after goals.
Is there something about kind of playing with your back up against that wall and facing opposition that changes the way you go into a game or the way you approach a game?
Yeah, I think there's just more urgency in every block shot, every puck on net. I think every play matters a little more, and just the urgency to get the play done is what changes. I think when you're in an elimination game like that.
Since the pressure has shifted to the other side a little bit, especially with Boston having blown a 3-1 series lead last year at all.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to focus on that too much. Honestly, I think there's pressure on both sides, but I think we just got to focus on this locker room and what we can control, and I think that's what's going to help us the most.
John, what's your sense of the group going into this game?
Well, I think excited and knowing, our backs are still against the wall here, so not much can change. We only have to get better. We want to keep playing here. So I think just excited, especially to be back home and put our best effort forward.
What has to change at home? Have you noticed anything different at home than on the road?
Hard to pinpoint, but I think, really just trying to emphasize the same type of mentality and the recipe for us, what works and what makes our game go, getting to that and sticking with it. Not trying to do too much or anything different, but just staying with that process that's obviously brought us success on the road.
Boston may not be a go tonight. How's the feeling with the team?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, obviously, when you got one of the best players in the world and possibly not available. But it's the nature of the game, the sport, and we've been through it before. So guys responded really well last game. And if that situation's similar, same type of mentality. We got to play together as a group. Everyone stepping up and doing more, not one guy trying to fill his shoes.
What's your sense of how Austin's handling it?
Well, I think obviously he wants to be out there. I think he's shown he's trying to do everything he can to help this team when he's been on the ice, and the same as off it. So doing everything he can to make himself available to play and help contribute. And this is what you play for, to play at this time of year and have this opportunity. So I know it's not easy for him.
You've had to watch before, Joe. What's it like to have to watch at this time of year?
Yeah, it's difficult. Like I just said, this is what you work for all year, starting in the offseason through training camp and earning a spot in the playoffs to compete for the Stanley Cup. It's what drives you, and to have that chance to be out there to compete and help your team, especially when you go through the journey all year long. So, it's not easy.
Not easy for William to miss the start and jump in right away. What's your sense of where he's at?
Yeah, I think he seemed a little bit more, a little more familiar with his game and in his second game. I think obviously having that time off and then stepping in middle of a series, not always the easiest thing. So only expect him to continue to get better and really started to I think use his feet. Obviously his ability to make plays and create opportunities. Definitely increased the other night.
Engaged for the kids in this playoff run. Are they getting a little bit more this year?
Yeah, a little bit more. Still trying to understand the dynamics of everything, but it's obviously a lot of fun to share it with them and to see what myself and the team work through all year, and to have this opportunity and to share with them. It's part of the whole experience about being a dad and playing in the NHL and competing for the Stanley Cup. Thank you.
Sheldon, what's the key as far as you're concerned tonight?
Just our approach to the game, that it can't change. As I said, it's very clear how and when we've had success in this series and how and when we haven't. Thought we had a pretty clear picture of that coming back from the road after game 2 when we came back, and we didn't execute that on the ice when we came back here. So that's the biggest piece for us is just coming out with the same mindset that we brought to the road.
A few times this year when you've been asked about line changes, you said, I don't want to overthink it. Is that sort of a thing that's developed in your coaching style as the years have gone on, or is this playoffs with Austin out a real challenge to how you want to rearrange things?
I mean, I think it's just a matter of reading off your team and reading off the situation and the players themselves. As you mentioned, I mean, between Willie missing early on and then Austin missing, like those are pretty significant pieces that make you have to, move things around. But I think it's more just reading off of things. Like we felt pretty strongly and confidently in the group and the plan that we had coming in, and then all of a sudden, Bobby McMahon, you lose coming in, and then Willie and Austin, as I mentioned. So yeah, you got to change and adapt as you go. But I think you're constantly just reading off of your players and the team and the game itself, and then you make your decisions from there. But like as we saw throughout the season, when we've lost guys, to injury or otherwise, or we've changed the lines, like the group has responded really well. We've got a lot of versatile guys that can play in different spots and different positions and different, flip from right wing to left wing. And, I think that's served us well in terms of being able to adapt to different situations.
Sheldon Nylander now a couple games back. What's your sense of him? How close is he to top level Willie?
I thought he took some steps in that direction the other night. I thought in game one, he looked like a guy that's very much adjusting to the playoffs and to the opponent and all those kind of things, and getting himself back up and running. But certainly the other night, I thought he was far better in terms of moving his feet and creating chances and all of those kind of things. So that's an encouraging sign. Obviously he's looking for one to kind of break and go his way, break away off the crossbar. Like that's one that, you love to see fall for him. But more importantly, this is just his overall game, and we're obviously going to need a big effort from him.
Sheldon, the indication would be otherwise, but is there any sort of option for Austin tonight? And then is there an update more on Bobby McMahon too?
Austin's not available tonight. And Bobby's also not available, but as you're seeing, is progressing well.
What's your sense of why you've had so much difficulty winning here?
As I've been kind of alluding to, I think for whatever reason we come in, our plan doesn't change, our approach doesn't change, but our mindset seems to change. And in particular, just staying with it, and being consistent with it. I look at the games that we played here. Certainly game 3, that you're going through that game. I think we had given up 3 shots in the first 15 minutes of that. Of game 1, or excuse me, of game 3, our first game here. So that in that sense, it's a pretty similar game in terms of the defensive play and all that. We didn't have as much of an offensive push in that game, but defensively we were doing a real nice job. But just being able to maintain that play and then staying with it. You have a plan, you come in, you want to try to execute that. You got to stay with it a long period of time, which is what we did really well the other night. We weren't phased by whatever happened. In the game, you play a great period, and you're still 1-1, and that doesn't make us change. We just stay with it. Have to kill a penalty, get it done. All these kind of things that we just stayed with it. We haven't done that to the same level here on home ice, and that's been not just a playoff trend. That was a regular season trend for us as well. Like just the same mindset. This is the best road team in Leafs history. In terms of the success that we've had, and we haven't been able to replicate that on home ice, but we've earned ourselves another opportunity to get that right here now.
So at this point, is that something you address, or is that something you just? The players obviously know the same numbers you know.
Yeah, we've addressed it and talked about it throughout the season, but now that you're playing the same opponent and it's the game plan and the approach is similar, I think it's a lot easier to drive home here now. And you've been through what's worked and what hasn't, and it's a mindset piece. That's why for me it's less about where we're playing and what the situation is. It's mindset based and being able to stay with it no matter what the game is bringing. Just trust it and stay with it, and expect it to be difficult. Embrace it being difficult, and don't feel the need to change or adapt to our plan, because we've had success in this series, both in winning games or in carrying play and all those kind of things. Even when we haven't won the games, at times when we've played to the way the plan has been, we've made things real tough on Boston.
The 2 games you've played without Austin this year are probably 2 of the better team games you've had. As a coach, how much are you actually vocalizing that to get them in the mindset about playing without him, or do you think it's just human nature that guys feel like they want to do more?
I think it's a bit of the human nature piece. It's, you recognize everybody has got to be better, I think the 2 different types of games, and obviously one's regular season, and I think it was the Pittsburgh game where Austin missed, and the team in that game played really well, but also filled the net, and everything seemed to go in the net for us that night. And obviously, it's an opposite type of approach the other night, where it's a disciplined game, it's a consistent game, it's just staying with it and grinding it out and finding a way to win a hockey game. So I think it's more just the confidence that our team has and how it's responded when players have been out. Like I said, even just in this series alone, you have no William and losing game 1, and still no William in game 2. But you've got to find a way to win a game on the road. Obviously we don't get that win, we're not even here talking. The way that things have gone, but I think that piece is important. I think, we have confidence there. I think we can trust in the group. If anything, it just shows the strength of the group and the importance of the group, not looking to others or to do the job, but just doing your part, and then trusting that the group will find a way to prevail in the end.
Sheldon, I'm just wondering what you saw from the power play the other night. I think it was the first one that didn't look great, but what you saw from the other two and how they sort of grew in, especially not having Austin, and seems like they're getting closer to breaking through.
Yeah, it's it got us some of the looks that you want. I think John had at least 2 very clear wide open looks. Obviously Morgan had the wide open one-timer, which is as great a chance as you're going to get on a power play type of look. And you got to hope and trust that these are going to start to fall for us. Again, we spend a lot of time looking at the power play and things that we'd like to do better and looking for potential adjustments and such. And then, so you do that because you're always trying to refine it and trying to get ahead of adjustments that the penalty kill might be making. And then through that process, you're also looking at the scoring chances that you've had. How can you generate more of them? And we deserve more power play goals than we've had in this series. And we've had some really, really good looks. Goalies made saves, or we've just haven't converted in very tight on rebounds and empty nets and these kind of things. So, the number starts to balloon and doesn't look good. And it's been a major factor in this series, but we have no choice but to stay with it and do more of the things that we've done well to find even more of those looks. At some point, the guys just got to put it over the line. It's been there for us. I think right now on the power play, I think we're right at the top of the league and expected goals or scoring chances on the power play, and we deserve to have more than we've gotten. I know it's certainly in the first 3-4 games of the series, we were leading the league in inner slot shots on the power play. Like we're doing the things that you need to do to score. It hasn't gone over the line, so we got to stay with it. We've had 3 different iterations of the first unit, through this series, through 5 games. We've tried different things that we've made changes ourselves, or the lineup has required that we make some changes, and that's given us different looks that way. But, the guys have got to stay with it, trust themselves, and put one over the line for us. Thank you.